For decades, Chinese leaders have been trying to build a more capable military. But no leader has had greater ambition than Xi Jinping. During Xi's tenure, the PLA has moved to a joint command structure, upgraded and built significantly more of its platforms, and improved its ability to capitalize on private sector innovation dubbed military-civil fusion among other achievements. Under Beijing's strategy of military-civil fusion, in which ostensibly civilian assets are repurposed by the central government for military ends, China's maritime ambitions further benefit from the world's largest fishing fleet, with an estimated 500,000 vessels, of which up to 3,000 operate as the distant water fleet. Civilian shipping vessels, too, are often used to mask PLA troops' movements and provide logistical support to China's South China Sea outposts, as are cruise ships. The rapid development of the Chinese Navy has caused panic in the United States. China is a formidable military power on the rise, broadening capabilities made possible by a growing indigenous industrial base. China has continually demonstrated its growing military strength, from showcasing cutting-edge technologies at the Zhuhai Airshow to conducting test flights of next-generation aircraft and launching the Type 076 amphibious assault ship. It can be expected that the Chinese Navy in 2025 will inevitably usher in the largest wave of service in recent years. In addition to the sixth-generation aircraft and other Air Force equipment, the most eye-catching is undoubtedly the naval equipment. At present, at the Jiangnan shipyard alone, a 076 new amphibious assault ship, and several 052D Chinese Aegis ships have been launched. In addition, in major shipyards across the country and offshore, there are also 003 aircraft carriers, 055 million-ton destroyers, new 054A frigates, and 054B frigates in different stages of construction, launching, and sea trials. The sixth-generation aircraft also came out before the United States. This is something very shocking, because the wars in the past 100 years have proved the huge air superiority, and the high-dimensional has an overwhelming advantage over the low-dimensional. On December 26, 2024, the Chinese aerospace industry unveiled two new combat aircraft in honor of Mao Zedong's birthday. By 2027, in areas west of the international date line where U.S. assets are deployed, the PLA will outnumber U.S. forces about 12-1 in modern fighter jets, including 5-3 in fifth-generation aircraft and 3-1 in maritime patrol planes. When it comes to bombers, the PLA's fleet of 225 manned bombers faces no competition in the region. On the seas, the PLA has a 3-1 advantage in aircraft carriers and amphibious ships, more than 6-1 in advanced submarines, and a staggering 9-1 lead in modern multi-warfare combat ships. The People's Liberation Army and its constituent branches have undergone extraordinary change over the last 15 years. Doctrine, equipment, training, and strategic orientation have all evolved to the point that the PLA Navy, and the PLA Air Force have become nearly unrecognizable from the vantage of the 1990s. The sixth-generation aircraft also came out before the United States. Newly revealed crude stealth fighter, a great leap in Chinese air power that promises to redefine air combat dynamics. In what is being reported as a surprise development, China has unveiled a new generation of crude stealth combat aircraft that could redefine air combat dynamics and potentially challenge America's aerial dominance in Asia. Enter 2025, China has received many exciting good news. At the beginning of the year, key areas such as diplomacy, economy, and military have been blessed by the goddess of luck, and exciting good news has come one after another. China understands the consequences of falling behind militarily, which is why it's so determined to build up its armed forces. To be sure, the PLA is more powerful and capable than ever. China's Navy already has more than 370 ships and submarines, including more than 140 major surface combatants, not counting the 22 Type 056 Jiangdao corvettes it transferred to the Coast Guard or the approximately 60 Type 022 Hubei missile catamarans it retains. As of August, the PLA Navy boasted 370 platforms, including major surface combatants, ocean-going amphibious ships, submarines, aircraft carriers, mine warfare ships and fleet auxiliaries. This number is expected to rise to 395 ships next year and reach 435 by 2030. By comparison, the U.S. Navy has 296 battle force ships, which it expects will decline to 294 by 2030, leaving Washington with far fewer ships than the anticipated Chinese number. The UK's Royal Navy, Europe's largest after Russia, has just 45 ships. Comparing with China's speed, the Shandong ship was built in November 2013, launched in April 2017, and delivered to the Navy in December 2019. The Fujian ship, which started construction a few years later, was also launched in June 2022. In general, it takes China only half the time as the United States to build an aircraft carrier. Considering that China is building aircraft carriers in a technological leapfrog manner, this speed is even more astonishing. The PLA Navy has two operational aircraft carriers, Liaoning and Shandong, based on the Soviet Kuznetsov, a short takeoff but arrested recovery. Both carriers have been active in the Western Pacific. A third carrier, Fujian, will feature a catapult launch and arrested landing and is expected to be operational by 2024. This design will enable it to support additional fighter aircraft, fixed-wing early warning aircraft, and more rapid flight operations and thus extend the reach and effectiveness of its carrier-based strike aircraft. China's emergence as a great maritime power, ideally by 2035, is essential to President Xi's vision of a world-class military paving the way for national rejuvenation. Drawing lessons from centuries of sea mastery by the US, the United Kingdom and their allies, an achievement that secured their global influence, leadership and control of shipping lanes, Beijing is intent on realizing the same. Chinese leader Xi Jinping has made it a goal for the PLA to modernize by 2035 and to be a world-class military power by mid-century. In 2014, China's Navy overtook the US Navy to become the largest military fleet in the world, although the US Navy is still considered to be more powerful. While China is notoriously opaque about its level of defense spending, it is widely believed that China has the largest defense budget in the world other than the United States. President Xi Jinping has ordered China's armed forces to modernize by 2035. They should, he says, become a world-class military power. By 2025, the People's Liberation Army Navy is expected to grow to 400 hulls, up from its fleet of 340, according to the Pentagon's annual China Military Report estimates released on Tuesday. China is building more modern surface combatants and expanding its aircraft carrier and logistics force to grow its naval influence further from shore, according to the Pentagon's annual report on Chinese military power.